My name's Mike. I was in the United States Army. I served from January of 74 to February of 76. I was stationed in a red eye platoon. We had to go to Frankfurt and to Rhine Mine. First night there, I went downtown and just wanted to absorb the atmosphere. I had drank a few beers and I wasn't feeling any pain. And when I got back to the barracks where we were at, I was attacked by a platoon sergeant, assaulted both physically and sexually, and then threatened with my life if I was to say anything to anybody. From where that happened in the restroom, I walked into where everybody was staying, into this dorm room, and I just told them that I'd been physically assaulted. And so they encouraged me to report it to our first sergeant, and I was scared, man. And I just transferred out. So then I went to a line company, and that's when things started escalating as far as substance abuse and alcohol abuse. When I got out in 76, I was just so happy to be away from the military. It wasn't funny. But from that point on, I was just a balls to the wall. I get loaded in any and every way that was possible. I had tried a number of times to get sober, and I did succeed at getting sober to a certain extent, but I always had something that I hid. I took that understanding and knowledge and put it in the same box, that compartment that held the other that I didn't want anybody else to know about. About 1980 or so, is when I first went into treatment, into VA. I went to substance abuse treatment 3 times, so I didn't have a whole lot of success. I headed south and hooked up with the VA again, went to the outpatient treatment, and was referred to an inpatient treatment in Eugene, Oregon. I actually got assigned a counselor, and for the CBT, and that was for depression. And when we were going through that, I had to open that box up. I was moved to a different counselor. She was an alcohol and drug counselor that was doing the sexual therapy. Fortunately, that counselor was able to help me out and get me on the idea of understanding the fact that the substance abuse is what I used during the majority of my life to mask what was really bugging me. Probably the biggest milestone is when I sat down with her and went over the whole incident, and wrote that down and submitted it to the VA to get things straightened out. That was a pretty big thing for me. So it took a long time. I found that professional therapists were what I wanted to talk to, because they could understand. I have a much better understanding of why things are happening now, and I know I've learned how to ask for help. One of the best things I ever heard from the VA was a drug counselor in Eugene. So when you got a problem, you can't go around it. You can't pretend it doesn't exist and make a detour. You have to go right back through that problem and understand why it's a problem, and also learn and find out what you can do to deal with that problem.